Well, good morning, everybody. Grace and peace to you from our Lord Jesus Christ and all the saints here in the MDF again. So, if you remember last week's video, I told you how I messed up and didn't get the unboxing of this particular unit. But this is what I'm going to talk about today. Let's see if I can find it. There it is. This guy right here, Audio Codex Mediant 4000B. Um, so yeah, I unboxed this last week and racked it right here. This is the AT&T Sienna switch. I think it's a Sienna. Usually, oh, it's a Catalyst. So this is the AT&T router. This will plug into this guy at some point, but for now, all they're doing is just configuring it. So all I had to do was get it on my network. So that took some doing. Basically, what you do is you plug a cable straight from your laptop to this guy, put it on the old 192.168 network, point a web browser to it, and then we uploaded a config file which has the IP address we want to use on my internal network. Once we did that, I'm going to have to make these cables look nice. Once we did that, routed a cable up here to my core switch. So it's plugged into this port. I got a copper SFP in there. Hard to see, but it's in this mess here somewhere. So yeah, that was the longest time, is me finding a free port up here and configuring it. Why did that take so long? Because OneNote wasn't syncing with the brand new laptop they gave me, and so it took me a while to find the IP address of my desktop, which has changed recently, and get into that, get into my notes, find out what I was going to do, blah blah blah. So now that I've got that thing installed, and oh, one trick real quick on installation of these things in racks. You don't have to do this, but this is the way I do it. Sorry for the jerky movements, guys. I'm a horrible videographer. When I mount these guys, let me show you over here. It's a lot easier. So let's take this switch right here. If I was to mount this here in the rack and there's really nothing to set it on underneath, have your buddy hold up the back while you're putting it in. Put the bottom two screws in first, both sides, bottom two screws, and then go ahead and get those as tight as you dare. And that's going to cause this upper one that isn't put in yet, the top of the mounting ear, it's going to want to rock back against the rack. So this is the lever here, and it's going to want to move that way. You can see these don't have support, and they're sagging a little. I don't like that, but yeah, we don't really have anything to correct that with. But that'll hold it up until you can at least help take the strain off your buddy, until you can put these top ones in. And then put the top ones in, cinch those fully down, and cinch these in the rest of the way if you haven't already. So that was the little trick you missed last week. However, in my case, it didn't even matter because I had this other device to set it on. So airflow is on this is front to back. Airflow on this is side to side. So I'm not too worried about the in-between. You know, if you've got a device that's got vents on the top or the bottom, then you're going to want to leave some airspace in between the two and not do what I did there. So now the next thing I'm going to do, sorry, I'm going to get you guys right there, is I got this fancy little cable labeler here. And what I'm going to do is label this Ethernet cable so I know where it went. So I am going to, wow, you know what? I am just going to clear this out. There are too many words. There we go. So this is called an SBC. session border controller. So I'm going to say SBC dash ETH. I think they called that 001. So ETH 0 slash 0. Those are O's, idiot. 0 slash 0 slash 1. So I got that. That's so far. And then on the bottom, I'm going to put where it goes to. And it goes to core switch. Where's a W? Core switch 3 dash. Oh, where did I put it? 217, 13, 14, 15. Wait a minute. Let's see. Yes, 217. Don't ever get old. Okay, so that's going to go to core switch 2/17. So that's what I got so far. Hopefully you can see that. Can you? I don't know. Trust me, that's what it says if you can't see that. So what I do is I print two lines on the label. The top line is what it plugs into. The bottom line is what the other end of the cable is plugged into. So I'm going to go ahead and print this out and put this on the SBC end, since the SBC portion of the label is at the top. And I like this particular labeler because it prints these labels that they come in like a two halves. It's wrapped around the label. So peel the paper off. It's like, it sounds like he's rebooting it. And you just wrap it all the way around the cable and then around on itself. So that when you're done, see if you can get in there and see this. You can see we got this really nice fancy label, which I hope you guys can see. We got where it goes to on the top, the other end is on the bottom. I'm going to make the label at the other end. Basically, we got to swap the two lines. That one's easier to type. That. Beginning. Say. CSW3 dash 2 slash 17. This one. Yep, that's instead of 217. Okay. Put that bad boy out. Put out. Headers on the side. And shiny label. For some reason, the very first label I printed, this thing puts a vertical bar in there. Okay, let's go read the label. I'm going to put this on the other end of the cable up here where I can actually see it. Take the bend out of the cable so it's straight. It's right. There we go. Now, future network admins that come here, maybe even you, if you get my job, read the label here, you know, they don't have to trace the cable down. They say, oh, the other end is down here on the SBC right here. I got that idea. Sorry for the got that idea when I was working at Lockheed, and that's how all the cables were labeled. They had a lot more information on the cables than that. They had like rack numbers and U numbers and unit numbers. But we don't need all of that here. We're not that fancy. We just want to know where it goes to. So, yep, very cool. So, like I said, that's all I got for this week. Next week's video, I'd like to do a live Q&A. So, in the comments, certainly when's a good time, day and time, let me know, and I'll try to make that happen. If it's Monday through Thursday between 6 a.m. Pacific time and 4 p.m. Pacific time, that won't happen because I'm at work. I can't do it at work. So give me a Friday or a Saturday. How about that? That'll work out. So, all right, guys, that's all I got for this week. If you like what you saw, click the subscribe button, click the notification bell. Give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down, give me a prayer request, and I am happy to pray for you. And as always, we'll see you guys